What's up, Internet? Last week, we managed to defeat the Fuchsia Gym Leader, go through the Safari Zone, do some nonsense, but more importantly, we managed to not only get the final two HMs, but we managed to get the ability to use them, which means we can go anywhere in the whole wide world. Super exciting! And that means we could basically just rush through the rest of the game and in like 2 episodes finish the game. But more importantly, I think it's time to do some Gaideny nonsense, because side stories are always fun. And the thing is, now that we have access to literally anywhere in the world that we've been to through Fly, we have Surf, so we can take the water routes now. We can basically just go anywhere, and we're going to take full advantage of that. So, we need to go to Cerulean City for the first thing we got to go do. But the reason why I want to do this is, first of all, to extend this and to give us something to watch. And I'm actually recording this really late. Normally I like to have a bunch of videos done in advance. I've been so caught up with doing a bunch of other stuff and prepping for something I wanted to do tomorrow that I'm actually like super behind. And because of that, I'm actually recording this like 1 day before it's going live. Whoops. We will deposit Bryant, I feel. Because right now we need to get a Pokemon that has the ability to use Cut, which I believe was Stir Fry. I could have checked his stats, but I didn't. Because we'll need him at least for this first stop of 2 stops we're going to have to go to. Yep, Stir Fry's got Cut, so that's good. But the thing is, now we can go anywhere in the world. And if you're not on top of your A game, you might not be able to remember some of the areas you couldn't go to beforehand. Like, where we're going before, if you don't really think about it or take note, it's kind of a little obscure. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to hear a lot of people don't go here. In fact, when I was a kid, like 3/4 of my school had never even heard of this area. And it's kind of weird because it's kind of a big deal, sort of. We do have Pokeballs, right? I'm pretty sure we do. I just want to... Yes, we got a bunch of Ultra Balls. That's fantastic. Okay, we're good. But yeah, we're kind of going through a big deal area, so I think it's important that we just do it to acknowledge that it's there, and also to give this show content, because I'm super behind, and I guess I could just rush to the end, but I don't really want to. I want to enjoy this game. It's a game I bought for my birthday. It's a game I'm doing a playthrough for my birthday. It's a game I'm enjoying. Now, here we are at what is basically the Pokemon Center in front of the Flash Tunnel. But you'll notice this little waterway. Well, we now can surf. So let's explore this. Because, oh, there's the Pokemon Center. Hi, Pokemon Center. You were useful like once. What's this? It's like there's a secret route no one had ever really told anyone about. And this is this guy who will come and fight us. I don't want to see your collection, but we're going to fight anyway because I need the experience. That guy's got fantastic hair. A Rhyhorn. And we'll use our fighting type because that seems like a sensible thing to do. Counter. Boom! Counterattack. The problem is, because it's not a attack that does actual damage, it's an attack that does damage relative to how much damage you take. Its actual ability as a fighting attack won't do as much to a rock type. So I'm really just trying to burn him at this point. Which, you know, isn't exactly working all that well. But I think this is the only Pokemon trainer in our way. So, you know, if that's the case, 2 Pokemon, that's not too bad to deal with. I know our next little journey is going to have quite a few Pokemon trainers in the way. If I recall. Because it's a water route, we're going to have to fight a bunch of swimmers that have, like, tentacles, because That's like all swimmers have. Maybe a Gaideny, if we're lucky. I know I'm really sticking on that point of, wow, there are so few options for you people to use. Go out of your, like, 3 archetype monsters, for the love of God, just to give me something interesting to do. I have to admit, that's probably the biggest issue this game has, is just the fact that these characters fall into archetypes and they're stuck. Oh, Ice Punch, yes, we very much want that, because that diversifies our portfolio and stuff. We'll get rid of Counter, I guess. That gives us one more. I'm sure I'm immediately going to regret not overwriting Double Team, because Counter is actually really useful. But here we go to this place. It's sort of like a secret dungeon of sorts, where we can run into Magnemites. Now, unfortunately, we live in a time where they're not considered Steel types because Steel type doesn't exist yet, so Fire Punch really isn't going to do that much, but it's not going to hurt all that much either. So it's just sort of a useful ability. And Saitama's pretty much out for the rest of this little journey of ours. So I guess we will swap to... Yeah, it really would have been useful if we had kept Bryant on, but I don't want to say I wanted to hobble our team, but I wanted to not completely overpower what we're supposed to be fighting here. Carbos, which we'll give to the Gaiacris. I should have given that to Saitama. I should really remember what all this stuff does. I really should, but I don't. But this is going to play on some expectations that the gamer has at this point, which is really clever design. Because that's not an item block, or an item ball. That is, in fact, a Voltorb. You can also run into electrodes here, and they're actually really powerful. But I have Dig, so I don't care. Oh, and what's this? You missed? Don't you feel funny? You silly goose. You self-destructed and you didn't even hit me. And my voice is going, that's awesome. Another Voltorb. A much weaker Voltorb. Seriously, why is it whenever I record my voice goes? Sucks. But I don't think any of the wild ones can self-destruct, just the pre-placed item block monsters. Now this also leads to a rather curious difference between the versions. Oh hey, Pikachu. I didn't even know you could run into Pikachu here. But the thing is, as you know, there are differences between Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue. We're playing Red, obviously. And between the two, there's exclusive monsters. And between the two games, they always show up around the same point. What is TM33? Because I think I know what that is, and that's very useful if it is Reflect. That is not what it is. I'm going to toss that because I don't need Reflect. I think there is a TM here that is actually super useful, though. But my point is that the versions have exclusive monsters, but they're usually in the same places and more or less are just swapped in for each other. In one game you'll run into a Meowth, the next you'll run to Mankey. Same levels, same stats. Well, as close as you can for two different monsters. But here's where this game gets a little peculiar. Wow, Swift hit me even though I'm not on screen. Did not know that could happen, but that is a very accurate attack, evidently. But here's where it gets a little peculiar, because this is an optional dungeon, and this contains an exclusive to Red, I believe. It's a very rare exclusive, but you can run into a... what is it? A Electabuzz. And the thing is, in Blue, you will run into a Magmar, which is sort of more or less, I guess, the fire equivalent of Electabuzz, maybe. But the thing is, this is an optional area. Where you run into Magmar is not. So while both are very rare, one, you're at least going to go to an area that you're definitely going to see them in. This is an optional area that some people might not even know exists, which creates a little bit of peculiarity in terms of Pokemon acquisition and fairness between the two versions. Not to mention that, while theoretically you could run into the areas that have both exclusives around the same time, you're definitely going to run into one sooner than the other, because right in front of the penultimate gym is where you run into Magmar, whereas this is this. But that said, you could run into the penultimate gym city as soon as you gain access to literally all the HMs. So theoretically, you could be doing that instead of this. But it's a weird trade-off that this game has. And near as I can tell, that's the only time this game does it. It might be the only time the series does it, honestly. Thunder, that's what I'm looking for. And that's gonna go to someone else entirely. We could basically just avoid every item. Hey, Magneton. Cool. I don't really need to fight you though, so I'm gonna run. We're gonna look at all this stuff. Mainly just experience for Flammy, because I think for the next little chunk of our Gaideny adventure, we're going to have to bench Flammy anyway, so it's better to stock up on some experience for him now. Plus we get to make liberal use of Dig, which is always good. I'm very, very proud that I put Dig on Flammy. Honestly, that was just kind of a spur-of-the-moment decision, and it might have been one of the best decisions I've made. Serendipity and all that. But, here we are in the power plant, looking for what is causing power outages. Actually, I don't think there's an actual story related to this. It is sort of a bonus dungeon. But it's basically just a hive of electric monsters and steel types, if steel types were a thing at this point, but they're not. But we're gonna run into one very important electric monster. And that's at least one half of what I'd like our goal to be for this episode. If I can't get more done, that's unfortunate, but that's at least a plan. Let's see. Are you an item? Oh, HP up. That's useful. I will be giving that to a Pokemon right now. And, unlike the rest of them, it tells me what it does off the bat. Alright, we're gonna give that to Loggy, because that's useful for Loggy. And we're gonna keep going. I don't really care to collect any more item blocks, but if we run into one, we'll check it. And that's mainly because I remembered that there was a really good TM here, and I've got it. And I'm really just here for the end result now, whether I actually win this fight or not. I really just want to see if I can catch this monster, more than anything. Alright, so it should be down here and to the left, I think. And down, and there it is. A Pidgey. Except, surprise! It's not a Pidgey. It's Zapdos. Level 50 Zapdos too, which is kind of scary. And it's a flying type, so I can't exactly use Dig on him. That said, I do have some options. I could Body Slam him to try and paralyze him. This is a little scary too, because I think I am a flying type as Flammy. Yeah. What do I want to do? Ooh, crap. Yeah, see, this is kind of why I didn't want to bring our dear friend Bryant out on this, just because it would end very, very badly for us. And this might already end very, very badly for us. But it's paralyzed, so that's a plus. And I think we will use, I guess, Swift. See, that is the one problem about this, is we are wildly outclassed right now. Okay, what can we do? I believe I do have a full revive. Yeah, max revive, awesome. I think we will use that on Flammy. And, hey, we might actually get a cameo of an interesting little thing that only this generation did, we'll see. Oh, I could have Toxic'd him. Let's Toxic him. Oh, it doesn't affect. It missed, is what that means, of course. I could have shown off how awesome Toxic is. Alright, Flammy. So, we are going to Body Slam. Body Slam. Body Slam. Oh. Now let's see if we can catch him. I want to at least try to catch him. Welcome to Generation 1 Monsters catching. You can miss the monsters. It only happens to the legendaries, but you can miss them. Which, yes, is about as stupid as that sounds. We'll use a max potion on Flammy. Because I've got lots of balls, I might as well try and use them. Although that said, that pretty much negated that entire item use. Oh well. Ultra Ball. Miss. Yes. Let's go Stir Fry. Ultra Ball. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah! That's how we do. We just got Zapdos. Like, I would have been happy just fainting him, honestly, but catching Zapdos, that's not too bad. Also, hands down the coolest of the original bird trio. I was about to say original electric birds. It's like, yeah. Yeah, because there's other ones, but very cool bird. I never liked the legendaries, but if there were legendaries I'd use in Gen 1 Pokemon, it would be Zapdos and Mewtwo, because of course you gotta use Mewtwo. It's one of the best monsters. Yes, yes we will. Let's see. I think it'll just fit if I wanted to name it that. Okay, let's do it. Volt... V-O-L... Volt... E-C-C-E-R. I think that's how you spell that. Voltecker. Now, for the uninitiated, Voltecker was the attack used by Pulseman, who was the protagonist of the game Pulseman, created by Satoshi Tajiri, the guy who made Pokemon, before Pokemon. And it was the thing that inspired the attack Volt Tackle, as well as the Pokemon Rotom. So you kids with your Rotom Dexes, you owe it all to a Sega Genesis game that's ridiculously good and was only available on the Sega channel over here, which I don't even think showed up in Canada, so I had to play it on the Wii Virtual Console. Ridiculously good game, though. And Alien Soldier, I don't know why we never got that either. Okay, so I don't think we need Stir Fry anymore. So, we're going to deposit Stir Fry because we don't need him. And we will take up... Who do we want to take in? Static Cling would be useful. In fact, I'm kind of surprised I didn't take him with me in that last area. It would have been super useful to have an electric type not get completely destroyed by electric attacks. And because we don't want to get too much of an advantage, we'll deposit Flammy and take out Bryant. And, so I don't forget, TM25, Thunder. Yup, we're going to be teaching that to our super jack-of-all-trades awesome Mon, Bryant. Yes, we will. Now, for what it's worth, we now know an ice attack, an instant kill attack, an earth attack, and goodbye horn drill, hello thunder. And we could have taught that to Static Cling, but it will learn that automatically as we level him, so. Okay, so we're probably going to be fighting a lot of water monsters, which means as much as I don't want to just EXP feed one monster, we're going to just EXP feed Static Cling for a while, I guess. Although that said, I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to fight every trainer on the water just to run into all the tentacles ever. No thank you. See, I've already had it with these stupid things. But I can Thunderbolt you. And that defeated that. Hey, a Shelder. Shelders are pretty cool. I think Shelders were one of those monsters that it wasn't exclusive between versions, but if you played, I want to say blue, you had a higher chance of running into it. Whereas if you played red, I think you had a higher chance of running into, I want to say Slowpoke. I don't want to have a heart attack. True fact. I would like to not have a heart attack in my life. I'm a simple person with simple goals. Alright, Static Cling, Thunderbolt. Although to be fair, I have a defibrillator on hand. In my awesome Static Cling. You know what? Let's see what Brian can do against your Horsea. Zappy zappy. Yeah. He can pretty much handle everything now. Yet another reason why Nidoking is awesome. You play your cards right, you've got amazing typing. Just in your attacks. Like, I don't even need Horn Drill, the instant kill attack, but I feel like I should have it just because there's so very few instant kill attacks. I think I could teach him Fissure if I really wanted to. Okay. So I don't really want to run into all of these different trainers if I don't have to, so we're just going to not do that. And we're going to see one of the most legendary sights in all of Pokemon in just a minute. Swim, 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 swimming. Here it is. This simple vertical line of tiles. One of the most amazing sights you could ever find in Gen 1 Pokemon, because this one vertical line will allow you to run into any monster that is in the recent memory address of the game. And in simple terms, this means that wherever you previously have been, provided you haven't run into a fight between now and then on the water, means that you will run into those monsters here. So if we hadn't run into any monsters on the water or challenge trainers, we would be running into Pikachus and Electabuzzes and Magnemites on this one simple vertical line. And this is, for the uninitiated, how you caught Safari Zone monsters without having to deal with Safari Zone nonsense. And also something much, much more infamous and much, much more awesome. But we'll maybe we'll look into that later as a special little bonus thing. I don't know. I hope I have an escape rope because I do not remember this place at all. Oh no, it's Horsies. Oh wait, I'm not scared of you. Zappy zappy. Way to go, Static Cling. I also don't have a map of this place. That would have been useful to have as well. Okay, so that's a hole. And I know what you're thinking, what is that hole for? Well, typically when you see those kinds of holes in here, in all, like, 3 places they show up, it means you have to either fall down it or drop a rock into it. Oh no! Or did we do a good thing? I don't know. I forget how this area works. Hey, Shelter. Cool. But again, zappy zappy. Yeah, that's sort of another thing. This was sort of where the idea of elemental affinity areas sort of came from, where you go to an area and monsters were like that one specific element. It sort of came from these 2 bonus dungeons. Oh no. I'm trapped. Trapped forever. Is there a thing here? There's a thing there. See? My adventurer's instincts. I know where stuff is. Except where I need to actually go in here. And that's a problem. I know this place has 2 exits as well. I guess for the hell of it, we'll read that sign. Hey, Slowpoke. Slowpoke is a great monster. It's water and psychic, which gives it some decent typing. Danger, fast current. Thanks for that. Thank you so much, sign. But I think I know where I am right now. Wait, did that say? Ah, yeah, current's too fast, okay. I think we're in the same room where we need to be, though, so that's a step in the right direction, I feel. Maybe. Possibly. Hey, a seal. This would be the only place in the game you can run into seals, I believe. Thunderbolt. And I believe seals are one of the few ice types in the game. Ah, static cling leveled up. And my chair is really, really squeaky. Okay, those were the rocks you have to drop in holes, as I mentioned earlier. And I think right now we're actually going towards one of the 2 exits to the place. And if that's the case, we will do a quick U-turn and go back in, because there's something important we must do. Yeah, I recognize this place. That's not where we want to be, though. I think we want to go down here. Because we want to go to those rocks. Because those rocks will solve problems. Trust me on this. Adventurer's instincts and stuff. Okay, requires strength, but of course I have to... I will admit I quite like that flash. Okay, let's try this again, game. Strength. Alright. We are making progress, maybe. Go away, Shelter. No one likes you. Push. Okay. Yeah, I want to go. Push. Now. We screwed that up, didn't we? I think we might have. Push. 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 We're gonna push that rock down. Yeah, I think I see how this works. I'm not gonna pretend I remember how the puzzles go in this game. Okay. So that's one less problem we have to deal with. I like the sound effect of Slowpoke. Ba-bum! It sounds like the sound a bouncy ball would make. If a bouncy ball could make like an audible vocal clip. Ah, No, I screwed that up too, didn't I? Well, maybe not. Again, I'm gonna pretend I know what I'm doing because I only sort of vaguely remember. But yeah, I see the solution now. I just had to push that one rock out of the way before. So I got this. And then that should lead us to our ultimate goal of this area. I don't think there's all that much in terms of loot here, though. Like, the power plant at least had a good TM you can pick up. Okay, let's go down. And wha-bam! We just blocked the current, which lets us go up here, see this bird. What's your deal, bird? It's another Pidgey. Except, it's not. It's Articuno. And while we're on the topic of this, Lugia is way cooler than Articuno. Now, I'm going to Thunder Wave you. And I could try and Thunderbolt you. I'm not sure how well that would work, though. It might kill you. I'm a little bit wary of that. But let's try it. Don't kill it. Although if I do kill it, I mean, I don't care that much. Oh, crit. And that's actually ridiculously good. Okay. I think we've got this. Ooh, that was scary. But fortunately, I can start throwing Ultra Balls at you. And I can continue to miss you, hitting you with Ultra Balls, because Pokemon Gen 1 is just a jerk like that. Now that said, this is kind of where having a Fire type would have been useful. But at the same time, I could try and double team. Try and avoid your attacks, maybe. That's gonna kill me, though. Yeah. Okay. So, no heroics. Just chuck Pokeballs and hope for the best. Got it. Let's see. Do we have a... We have a full restore. We have Gaia, Chris, and Bryant. Okay. I'm just sort of weighing my options for how I have to strategize catching this thing. Assuming that I will just get one-shotted with every hit. Which I think is a reasonable thing to assume, given that it's about 15 levels above me and is using stab attacks on me. Okay. I guess Bryant's next. Okay, Ultra Ball. Miss. Yeah, if you want to keep doing that, that would make me happy. Okay, so this is a phenomenon you younger kids out there probably aren't familiar with, missing Pokemon, but yeah, you can do that in this game, and it only happens in the fights against legendary birds and against, Mewtwo. But it's annoying as all hell. Okay, yes, and Gaia, Chris. Now the question is, can Lagi survive an attack from this guy? I guess we'll find out. And I missed. Ice Beam, don't kill me, 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 crap! Alright, well, we'll give it one more go. Actually, I'm gonna go get my Fire type, just so worst case scenario I can sit there and tank an extra hit. And I don't think we need Strength anymore, so we can get rid of Jiggle Gym entirely. So we can just have our good old team back. And I don't think we need HMs again until Victory Road. That's kind of comforting, I guess. Okay. But, yes, missing Pokemon, it sucks. Now, if you get fainted by a legendary, you should be able to re-challenge it. But if you faint it or you run away, it's gone forever. I think. I'm pretty sure if you get fainted by it, you can just return. I've generally never tried. I think the first time I played Pokemon, I fainted all of them. Because I just couldn't ever catch them, and I figured you just couldn't. And then after that, I just sort of saved in front of each and every one of them to catch them. Just because I didn't want to not catch them. I mean, they're unique. You can't run into them more than that one encounter. So it's important that you at least do what you can. So I'd save in front of it, and if I didn't catch it and I died, I'd like reset. And that's a thing that I think even today you can do with like the DS and stuff. And the 3DS. Okay, now I have to remember how I got there. But fortunately I can run from fights too, so. Down here. And what's up here? Hey, Staryu. I think we've run into every monster that you can run into down here. I don't know where these stairs go. These go to here. Oh, and I know where this is. Yeah, we're good. And if we have managed to defeat the mighty Articuno by being defeated by him, I will still take that as a freaking win. Because the whole point of this was to go on an adventure and run to the legendaries, and we have successfully done that. And then after that, I guess we'll hoof it to, Cinnabar Island. Wait. There's a second, rock there that's now missing. Nope, I can challenge the bird again. Fight me, bird. With your stupid birdliness. I will say Articuno looks quite nice in this game. Like, Zapdos looks menacing, Articuno looks just pretty. And, well, Moltres is just the most underwhelming legendary ever, basically. Okay, let's try this again. I'm gonna electrocute you. Okay, so I can't use a second one. I could try and double team, though. I mean, I know that's kind of a lost cause if it starts using, like, Ice Beam on me, but if it keeps using Peck, that might allow me to stall for enough time to actually catch this guy. We shall try. But the paralysis was useful twice over, because, of course, it means that it's easier to catch, but it also means it takes him potentially out of another chance to one-shot me. So it's all about basically prolonging the fight until something actually works. Okay. So, now we should use Quick Attack. Which will do probably very little. And I'm okay with that, because we're trying to finesse this now. I'm a little worried about getting a crit and, like, killing it, though. That should be enough. Let's try this again. Take two. Ultra Ball. Throw. I remember once I was trying to catch Zapdos, and I missed with 99 Ultra Balls, which is statistically something that should not happen. But, evidently, Pokemon Gen 1 is happening right now. And that's the thing. Even if you hit him, there's no guarantee you're going to catch him. You can consider this like, if there's like 4 different degrees of being caught, you can consider missing them to be like a -1 instance. So there's like an extra layer of just not catching. And then it's like you can hit it and there's like a 1% chance you can catch it. and so on and so forth, similarly to how you can catch anything. It's just like an extra layer of, nope. But I guess I just wanted to make these guys super hard to catch because they're legendary. But that said, this is a little ridiculous. They're Pokemon. Oh, and there goes Static Cling. Great. Yes. We'll use Bryant. Come on. And back in the day, there was all sorts of, like, tricks. I mentioned, like, mashing the A button, which I'm still doing to this day, but that's also to get through text fast. But I remember hearing all sorts of tricks to not miss throwing your Pokeball. And I'm pretty sure all of them were nonsense, but still. I will again point out, this is very clearly bullshit. How many Ultra Balls have I used now at this point? Like 20? Just for what it's worth? Because I'm pretty sure we had like 40 when we came in. We're, I think, less than 20 at this point. Yep, 19. 18. 17. 16. Oh, this is just dumb. I mean, I like to make fun of new Pokemon, but, you know, quality of life changes that have happened over the years, there's been value to them. There we go. Yes, we will name the Icy Mountain People Doomer monster. Technical term, I assure you. What should we name him? Let's see. Oh, it's one. I was gonna name him Cubed or Crushed, but that's like one letter too many. I guess we will just name him... I can't name him Drink Cooler either. I know. We'll name him... Slushy. There we go. And that was basically my plan for Gaideny nonsense. We're gonna catch the 2 legendary birds. Now I know what you're thinking, well, wait, aren't there 3? Well, yes, but similarly to how Magmar versus Electabuzz is a bit peculiar, Moltres versus Zapdos versus Articuno is also similarly kind of funny, because whereas Zapdos and Articuno were in these sort of optional dungeons, Moltres is basically an extra puzzle in a mandatory dungeon that you have to go through to beat the game. It's a little weird, but it also makes fighting him a little strange too, because he'll still be level 50 like the other birds, but at the same time, you're going to be a lot stronger. And Moltres is by far the least interesting of the 3, and probably the weakest of the 3. I always thought he was the worst of the 3 by far. I think he's the worst out of the, legendary birds at this point, because Lugia is really damn cool. Ho-Oh, well, I was always a Pokemon Silver kind of guy, so I never cared very much for Ho-Oh, but Ho-Oh is kind of cool. How do I leave now? I forget. Do I go up here? And down here? Yeah. Okay. Now, we could leave that way, through this cave, which is the same cave, to get to our next destination, but I believe we can also just shortcut it from Pallet Town, so we're going to do that. But let's stop home and talk to Mom, who will heal us up, because she's nice like that. And for what it's worth, we could have done that at any time during the game, but given the fact that there's like a one-way drop from Mount Moon to Cerulean, there's not really a point where you can until you get Fly, at least. Let's steal another Pokemon. Except I can't. The game's not that mean to Professor Oak, I guess. Let's get our Pokédex scanned. Now, for what it's worth, we have seen 2/3 of the Pokemon, and we have caught 1/5. I could do that. I don't want to. I can find invisible items on my own. Did you not see me rocking that Ultra Ball in the ice cave? Because that's how I found it. Just adventurer's instincts. Okay. Now, I think I mentioned early on how outside of the first route in Pallet Town, you see like a wall like this, but there's grass on the other side, and I always wondered what was out there. Well, I'd like to think it was sort of like an extension of this. It's a small grass patch that's like right next to Pallet Town, except it contains a monster that you can't run into anywhere else. Tangela, which is a poison grass type, which makes it kind of mediocre. We're not going to fight these guys, screw it. But I always like to think that outside of those like barriers where you see grass that you just can't go to, there's like all sorts of hidden, secret, amazing monsters. Like, that's where you're going to run into Mew, and that's where you're going to run into, like, Zapdos in his native habitat and stuff. I mean, it's childish optimism, sure, but at the same time, I was like, what, not even 10 when this game came out? Originally, I think I was like 7 or so. And I like to have a little bit of childlike wonderment in my life. I didn't have a lot of it growing up, but where I could get it, I'd take it. And Pokemon gave me some of that, which is nice. Alright, Wartortle. Hey, interesting, this is another starter monster. You don't typically run into those. I think we've run into Charmander, Charmeleon, Bulbasaur. I don't think we've run into Ivysaur, but we could check our Pokedex to see. I know we certainly can't run into all 3 final evolutions. Oh, no, we ran into Ivysaur. And we've seen Blastoise, but we will never see Venusaur, which is kind of a shame. And this is Cinnabar Island. If I recall, this vertical line of water to the one tile to the right to where we are, that is part of the land here, you can surf on there and you'll get a similar effect to the one next to the Articuno Cave line that I pointed out. However, it plays with the memory a little bit differently, if I recall, so you'll get slightly different results. But this is where we're going to run to the next gym. But we can't go there yet, because there should be a note on the door that says, yeah, door is locked. That's because the gym leader is busy dealing with a thing in the Pokemon lab, which is what we're going to be doing next week. So you'll have to come back then to see us deal with the next level of Pokemon. The Repokemoning, where we tackle where we would get a Magmar if we were playing Pokemon Blue, I believe. If we want to run around and wait for like a 5% chance of it showing up. And then we take on the Fire Gym. But until then, peace out, Internet.